guys, I hope you're doing well. If you're new to the podcast, my name is Christelle. I'm an indie dyer. I live in France, and there's a new podcast episode every Monday afternoon at 5 p.m. A newsletter that I'm sending out every Monday afternoon at 5 p.m. And the shop is updated at least once a month, and it's usually on a Monday. But over the past weeks, because I had this huge amount of things changing in my life, like moving houses, moving the business, and changing a lot of things that you guys don't see because you're not meant to, but I changed the legal form, I'm currently in the process of changing my website, I've changed my shop, my online shop. I decided to do all of that up front because, you know, the saying, I think I've already said that a couple of times here, but if you want something done, ask a busy person. So I said to myself, let's do everything at once, then it's going to be so cool afterwards. Yeah, okay. It's been kind of rough, okay? It's been rough sailing the past couple of months. And I must say, guys, I'm very sorry because it wasn't every Monday for you guys. The newsletter, the podcast, yeah, I let you down on that. So I'm very sorry. But the good piece of news is that today is the first day that the kids are back to school. It's the first ever normal day in my new life, my new setup. So for the first time this morning, because you know back to school days were Monday and Tuesday, today is Thursday the 7th of September. So my two little ones went back to school on Monday. The two older ones went back to school on Tuesday. And on Wednesday, you know, in France, it's a bit the middle of the week. The little ones don't have school at all, and the older ones have school only in the morning. But today is the first day of what is going to be my routine, actually. And I can't tell you how many times I thought about these days. In the midst of everything I've been doing with my husband, moving the house, moving the business, trying to, you know, get back on our feet and finding new routines, new ways of doing things and implementing new routines basically. And I've been thinking of this day for like months, and it was like my beacon, you know, my light in the dark. When it was very difficult, I thought about that first day when everybody would be back at school and me at my studio, and everything was already in place and already ready to use, and you know, with routines already experienced, and I told myself again and again and again that at one point everything would be everything will settle down. We will find we will find our marks. We will find, I don't know if the right term, but we would find a way of doing things that feel comfortable, and this is the day. And it feels so good. It feels so good. I've been working like only reacting to emergencies and doing things that were not as late as, you know, the thing that was the most late I had to do first, and then the rest was still late but a bit less late. I've been working like that like for weeks now, and I feel that now we've been through all the motions and we're ready to start and to take a more relaxed approach to everything, because all the one-shot things that we have to do, we've done them, and so it's going to be smoother sailing from now on. I hope. I'm hoping it's going to be smoother, but it feels really good to be on that first day of my new life, if I might say so, because it really feels like that. And it's, I mean, it's really cool. It's really cool. So again, sorry for not having been as present as I would like. Oh no, it doesn't come out right. Sorry. Sorry for not having been there as much as I wanted to. Thank you for sticking with me. And so today I wanted to share with you the new colorway for the Sock Knitters Almanac for September. I wanted to touch base on the latest yarn festival I had a booth at, and I wanted to talk to you about a new pattern that is coming out for the Knit.It by a designer that I've met in Porto, Marina Storm, and she's designed a beautiful cardigan with my yarn, and I want to talk to you guys about that. It's going to be out by the end of September. But first of all, the latest yarn show I went to was in the south of France, near the Pyrenees. That's the chain of mountains that separates France from Spain. So I was very close to the border. And it's been really cool. In Normandy, which is much more up north, we've been having like cooler weather all summer. Lots of rain, lots of wind. It doesn't feel like summer at all. Very cool temperatures. It was not always very pleasant, but we were privileged in that we didn't suffer from excessive heat, and that was cool. And then we took 1 week of vacation at the same place where the fiber show was to take place, you know, just to unwind and have a little bit of time with the kids and do things, because my husband was on vacation as well, which was not the case. He hasn't taken any vacation except for the moving, but it was the only week that we had completely off, him and me, and with our kids. So we decided we would enjoy it, whatever, you know, the weather would throw it away. And it was so hot. It was so hot, guys. It was the canicule, which means it was a very high temperatures in the day and at night. And it's been a bit difficult to adapt compared to what we had been having in Normandy with very cool weather. Anyway, we went to a lake nearby. We enjoyed, you know, getting into the water to feel a bit more cool. And then we had a lovely time outside when the temperatures were cooling down a bit in the evening, eating ice cream, and also, on the last day of vacation we went to Carcassonne, which is a very big medieval city in the south of France. Very well preserved and very, very big, actually. I think it's the biggest one in France, and it's absolutely marvelous. If you can visit that medieval city, it's incredible. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's like you step into the past. It's wonderful. And and then there was the fiber show, and I mean, the temperature was very high, lots of sun, but when we went to set up my booth, the temperatures changed completely, and we went like from 45 to even 49 on the Thursday to barely 13 on the Sunday, and rain and wind. And I was vending outside all weekend. It stressed me out like a lot, because I'm not used to vending outside. I had like this kind of tent above my yarn, but it's waterproof. It's meant to be waterproof, but there's waterproof and waterproof, okay? There's waterproof when you have like a summer rain, light summer rain, or maybe heavy summer rain before like 10 minutes. And there's waterproof when you have heavy rain for like 12 hours in a row, okay? My tent wasn't meant for that. So I was kind of stressed out that the yarn would get wet, and well, not at ease at all. I feel like I've been fighting the rain for the whole weekend with, you know, huge bash, I don't know how you say that in English, like huge pieces of plastic to cover up the parts taking water. And that was not the nicest thing to do, and kind of difficult to enjoy the moment, really, because always stressed out about the yarn being wet. So yeah, in the end, everything went smoothly. I managed to keep the yarn dry. Well done me and my husband, thank you. Our customers, even if the weather was not really, you know, making them want to go out, they were there. Some people drove 3 hours to come visit us, and it was awesome. It was a very good festival. And all in all, you know, I went out of my comfort zone a lot for this festival, and I feel like I've grown, and maybe I'm more... It will be easier the next time I'm venting outside in difficult weather conditions, because, you know, I will have the experience. I know that it's possible to do it, and we found ways to protect the yarn from the water, and also, it was good. It was good. And then I went back, and I thought I would be, you know, heading straight to the dining studio to resume working. But since we've moved, it's all new school for our kids, and there was a lot of work to do administratively to prepare all the files and all for the new schools, because we had the very nasty surprise of realizing that as our eldest daughter was not registered in her new school. Not because we forgot, but because the new school didn't get the message for some... Well, they did, actually, because when they searched for it, when we went to the school to check out, because, I mean, she was nowhere to be seen on the listings, so we went to the school administrative person to check what was what, and he told us, oh yeah, I can see all the messages you left us and the emails you wrote, but we didn't do it. But don't worry, she will be able to come to school, no problem. But yeah, it's been a bit stressful, because I was like, what? I mean, she's 1 year from her baccalaureate, which is a big thing in France, so it was a bit stressful, okay? And she has the French baccalaureate this year, and you have to choose options. And first of all, he told us that she couldn't get the options she wanted because she was late. It was like, are you kidding me, guy? Are you kidding me? And in the end, no, everything happy ending. She got the options she wanted. She went back to school on Tuesday, and everything was okay. She didn't have anything, no card to eat, no card to enter the school, nothing. But at least she was there, and they didn't throw her out, so I'd say it's a win. And everything seems to be all in order now. She had a great teacher, the head of the teachers for her class, who took everything in her own hands and went to the administrative person herself just to sort everything out. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. Because yeah, that has been very stressful. And because it was a new school for our 4 kids, we wanted to make them as comfortable as possible, because they were kind of stressed out by all the whole moving things and changing schools and having no friends and knowing nobody. And, you know, there was also the fact of being mixed race in a predominantly white environment in Normandy. So everything was a bit, you know, stressful for them. So we wanted to make things as easy as possible on them by having them at ease with themselves. So we shopped for new clothes, we went to the hairdresser, we made sure they had good shoes and all their school things, and I really wanted to make things as easy as I could for them. And so I spent the last few days of the week preparing everything with them and taking them to all those things just for them to feel good about themselves and happy and confident. And I'm happy to report that it's very, very comforting, because so far everything's been great. And what I especially appreciate is that not at the school for smaller children, but for my two elder, my son is 13 and my daughter is soon to be 16. Both their head of teachers for this class started the year by telling them about harassment, racism, and how anything of that was not okay, and at the slightest sign of the slightest problem they would react very forcefully and with no they would not tolerate anything, and they had to feel very at ease being they want them to feel happy in the school and all. And I mean, that is really, really appreciated, and I think sometimes when I hear that we are going in the right direction. So yeah, that was very important, because it's been on my mind a lot. I think that it's been on maybe on theirs as well, but on my mind a lot. And I'm a bit reassured. It doesn't mean that they won't experience any nasty surprise or anything difficult, but at least it will be not endorsed by the school authorities at all, which is very cool. It will be an individual problem. Anyway, I'm out of battery. I'm going to change it. Don't worry, the next one is fully charged. So I should be back right now. You know, when we got back from vacation, the weather was actually awful in Normandy, as it has been for like the past 2 months. It was very windy, it was coldish, and I struggled and I resisted the impulse to decorate the house with fall things, because obviously it was still August, and although the days are clearly shorter, I felt it was too early. And then I surrendered, because crap, we live only once, right? So if I enjoy fall and if I enjoy pumpkins and autumn leaves, I can. And the weather was clearly telling me that autumn was there, okay? So I asked my husband first, how, on a level of 1 to 10, how are you comfortable with pumpkins? Because, I mean, this time I went a bit wild with all the pumpkin things. And he told me it was pretty comfortable. So I went all pumpkin on the house, like that kind of thing. So this is not pumpkin, but you get the vibe. Got those things to put on the sofa. A lot of pumpkins. I got a lot of things to decorate the house, little things like this, and it's just to have this wonderful feeling of fall in the house. And then the universe just sneered at me and beam, heat wave, okay? That's why I wore no makeup. It's too hot even to wear makeup, okay? I'm literally like, I'm moist. I don't know if I'm saying something laughable in English when I say that, but I'm just, you know, covered in sweat. And okay, but I feel good, okay? If you're wondering about my bags under the eyes, that's natural. That's absolutely not a sign that I'm tired or depressed. It's just the way I'm made. And I could just play in a Tim Burton movie without makeup. That's the only upside of the thing. But we all look the same in the family without makeup. My sisters and I, we all feel we all look like we're always tired. We're not. We're just made like that, okay? I'm perfectly fine. Anyway, I wanted to share with you the sock knitters almanac. Well, you know, just the irony of the weather, okay, guys? Just the irony of the weather. Yeah, I've just my fall decoration is on full swing, and beam heat wave. Non mais sérieusement, bref. Okay, so Sock Knitters Almanac. I just wanted to tell you that the colorway from September from last year was a huge success. It's one of my best selling. So you might say that I had a bit of healthy pressure, healthy stress to come with a new colorway for this September because I had a very strong contender with the one from last year. Okay, and the one from last year, which is Mabon, is for me autumn. I could have called it autumn. It's all the autumn colors and yeah. But what I thought for this month is that I really wanted to explore a bit more brown. Okay, I've never dyed a brown, a rich brown in the Almanac, and I thought I would explore the different use of brown. So this is the colorway for this month. It's called Oolong Châtaigne, which is the name of one of my favorite teas. Châtaigne is the French word for chestnut. So Oolong chestnut. It's actually a tea that I bought in Carcassonne. I've always bought that tea in Carcassonne, and only in Carcassonne. I don't know why, but it's a tradition now. Each time I go there, I buy this tea. This time I bought like a huge load of it because I love it so much, especially at this time of year. So this is Oolong Châtaigne. And I wanted it to be a very warm brown, like almost a russet base. And then I wanted to play with all the different hues of brown, from the coldest to the warmest, and with little touch of colors in between. So it's really something that is so knittable in fall, actually, you know, just by the fireside. I love it. Love that colorway. So that's on BFL. That's on Stellina. There you have extra thin fingering. You can see all the different shades. Is it going to? Yeah, there you go. And this is on Tweed, which is one of my favorite base for this colorway, together with BFL. And this is on extra thin fingering with silk. And the contrasting color is also named after one of my favorite teas, which is also chestnut, mandarin, and fig. And it's actually the color of the figs, the green figs, with just, you know, the inside is red and there is a bit of purple. I just wanted that yarn to be to remind you of figs. And it's actually a great pairing with Oolong Châtaigne because it's a fantastic contrasting color. If you want to do color work, that will work wonderfully. So it's a sage green, actually. Sage green with little speckles, just to, you know, give it a bit of depth and life. And the two together really does work very well. I think that a stranded color work in those two colorways would be wonderful. And actually, the house we rented when we went in vacation in the south of France, there was a big fig tree just in the garden. And they were the most wonderful and biggest, fullest figs I've ever saw, which were exactly that color outside and that color inside. And they smelled wonderfully, and really you could smell the figs when you stepped into the garden. It was wonderful. But I didn't eat any. Because they were full of worms. Each time I opened one to eat it, it was like inside. I was like, oh. I threw it at the feet of at the base of the tree, and the consequence was that it smelled of fig in the garden, because there were all these open figs at the base of the tree, because I couldn't eat any. They were all full of worms. And if ever I have a fig tree, I have to figure out what happened there, because I don't like, you know, to put chemicals on fruits and all. But I mean, if the alternative is to not being able to eat a fig without any additional proteins. I mean, how are you supposed to do that? I don't know. Anyway, that's the why. And so the name of this other colorway is called Colomba Corsica, which is the name of the tea that I love so much at this time of year, fig. So it's a black tea, and it's fig, mandarin, and chestnut together, and it's great. It's absolutely lovely. So here you go for the Sock Knitters Almanac, and now I want to talk to you about a collaboration that I'm doing with a wonderful designer. Her name is Marina Storm, and you know, a few months back she had this gorgeous pattern called the Bloom sweater, and we met actually in Porto and then again in Madrid. And in Barcelona, sorry, and in Madrid we met again, and we decided to do a collaboration together because she told me that she knew I loved the Bloom sweater so much, and she wanted to make a cardigan version of the Bloom sweater. So I said yes, and so the pattern is now almost ready. It's going to be out for the Knit.Eat festival, in which I'm going to be a vendor. And it will be available both in English and in French, and it will have an option to be sticked, so knitted in the round and sticked, so cut open. Okay, but if you're like me and you've never sticked and you don't feel like learning to stick right now, Marina worked on an alternative version of the pattern with, you know, a more classic back and forth construction. So just the same pattern but with an alternative construction that I'm going to be testing actually, and it will be released just a bit after the version with the stick, but the version with the stick is going to be released for the Knit.Eat festival. So it's a wonderful pattern. She knitted it using my cocooning colorway, that's the colorway of the Sock Knitters Almanac for the month of January, and you need one strand of fingering weight and one strand of mohair and sock to knit this beautiful version. So I'm going to cast on mine very shortly, and I'm going to use, I think, Oolong Châtaigne in tweed. I'm kind of hesitating, either tweed or BFL, because I think both yarn are absolutely great for autumn, even if it's still very hot outside. It's autumn in there, okay? So I just picture myself knitting this. I feel happy. So yeah. So that's it for today, guys. Oh no, there's something more I want to share with you, because I've not knitted a lot this past summer. I mean, I think I've never knitted less since I started knitting again, like in 2011. The one thing I knitted on though during my vacation was my habitation throw using my Almanac colorways since January 2021, and I'm happy to report, oh, this is ma bon, by the way, this is ma bon. I was talking about September 2022. I'm at December 2022. I'm about to start 2023. I'm currently working on the December colorway of last year, which was Bonhomme Pain d'Épices on tweed. And yeah, I'm going to start knitting on January, which is cocooning actually. So yeah. I'm happy with the progress on that. And the other project I've been working on, which is taking me forever, I feel like it's taking me forever. I've started that in February, I think, or March, is the second side of my broadleaf sweater. But I mean, I've not been very, you know, regular on this one, so it's no wonder that it's taking forever. I'm starting on the 5th color, and there is 6 color blocks that I want to use. So I'm starting on the pink, and then I will have only the purple left, but yeah, I made good progress. And once the brioche is done, it's going to be much quicker, because the sleeves are only stockinette. So yeah, it's going to be much quicker. Yeah, starting on the pink, guys. And this is not meant to be outside, this is going to be inside. This is going to be my back. I'm going to, yeah, I really love the way the colors are changing, you know, as a background. Yeah. And if you don't remember, or if you've not seen, this is the front. And this is going to be outside and inside. And it's going to be quite big actually, because you have to wear it with a lot of positive ease. So yeah, it's going to be super big. I need to block that. I really hope it's going to be done for the knitted, but if I don't find a way to put more knitting in my life, it's not going to be ready. But I mean, it's not a problem. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Next week is going to be a live episode. I decided to do one every month now. So if you want to pop up and just ask questions, I will be able to, you know, talk both in French and in English. So don't hesitate to, you know, put your questions out there. It will be my pleasure to, you know, have a little chat with you live. And the last episode of September will be all about the bases, the other bases in the shop. And this time it will be both in French and in English, because one of the episodes I've not been able to record in English was the one about the bases, fingering bases. But what you can do, if you're interested, to get the information in English, is to put the English subtitles on the episode in French, and then you will have all the info. Hope that helps. Thank you, guys. Take care, and I'll see you next week, hopefully. Bye-bye.